So when we all thought the 2019 NBA free agency was done, yeah, it wasn't. We all knew that Kawhi Leonard was going somewhere, but I reckon a lot of people thought it wouldn't be the Los Angeles Clippers. The Lakers were making a really hard push for him once they got the cap space, and the Raptors just won an NBA championship. So to me, the Clippers were number 3 on his list. But they got their superstar. And even if you thought he was going to the Clippers, did you think they would get Paul George as well? That is just insane. How the hell does the NBA keep doing this? The NBA gods are with us this year. Unless you're a Lakers fan, everybody else is pretty happy because the big 3 in LA is not going to be there next season because that would have been tough to face. 3 of the NBA's top 10 best players in the league on the same team? Yeah, as a Heat fan, I'm pretty happy that didn't happen. As for all the other 28 NBA teams too. This is Paul George and Kawhi Leonard on the Clippers, and let's break it down. Before we get into this, if you are new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button for NBA content on the daily. If you want to leave a like, that would be much appreciated. And let's talk about this crazy NBA free agency. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George on the Clippers. Russell Westbrook, what happens to him? Could he be a guy that joins the Los Angeles Lakers? Let's get into this video. The Clippers swoop in and not only get Kawhi Leonard, but they get Paul George as well. Whilst the Lakers get Danny Green. Okay, now that's actually not that bad of a pickup, but since they really wanted Kawhi Leonard, come on Lakers, you done messed up this season. But to be fair, AD and LeBron, still a duo that you can't can out next season. But at the same time, the Clippers, they have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. And if you're the Thunder, you're still in a good position. You still have Russell Westbrook, who now could become a trade asset, considering we don't really know about the Thunder and their direction. And with the Clippers and the Lakers, and obviously just being in the Western Conference with the Houston Rockets, etc., it's going to be hard no matter what the Thunder do to actually compete for a championship. So don't be surprised if Westbrook is on the move, and that is where the Lakers will fit in. Well, possibly. We'll break that down later. As for the Oklahoma City Thunder, making this trade was something they had to do considering that Paul George requested a trade out of there. Now, they have a huge amount of picks, more picks than the Pelicans got for Anthony Davis. So, this was a trade that is going to basically build their future. This was unexpected in my opinion. I personally believed if Kawhi Leonard would not go back to Toronto, I had no doubt that he would join LeBron and Davis in LA because the Clippers didn't have that second all-star player to get them over the line if they made it to the NBA playoffs. Now, the NBA not only has parity, but Kawhi Leonard has a superstar to play with. Paul George, one of the best two-way players in the league, along with Kawhi Leonard. And arguably, the 2 greatest two-way players in the entire league are joining forces. Forget about Kyrie and KD. Forget about LeBron and AD. This is Kawhi and PG. How about that bar? But anyway, what I'm saying is this really brings back parity to the NBA because there is no greatest big 3 of all time with the Lakers anymore. Kevin Durant is injured for this season, and now the Western Conference is insane. As for the East and the Toronto Raptors, well, that's one team that goes down in the rankings. Obviously now the Raptors are not going to have their superstar player, and that leaves a future Eastern Conference team like the Miami Heat or whoever else comes up in the East to be an actual contender this season. And I'm just glad that parity is back in the NBA, but what does it mean for the Los Angeles Clippers and the rest of the NBA? Well, when the news broke that Kawhi Leonard was joining the Los Angeles Clippers, I was like, okay, well, I didn't expect it, but at least the Clippers have a great supporting cast around him. Now, they also made a trade to get Paul George, which includes a massive amount of future picks, including Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari. But that's basically it. The Clippers keep Pat Bev, they keep Lou Will, they have Kawhi Leonard, they traded for Paul George, they have Montrezl Harrell. This team has the potential chance to be the NBA champions of 2020. This team has the depth, this team has the defense, this team has the length, this team has Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and offensively, having those 2 players makes this team NBA championship favorites. As we all knew, Paul George was that guy a few seasons ago. The guy that wanted to go back to LA, and everybody just assumes it was the Lakers. Now he's playing for the Clippers. And according to Woj, this is how it went down. After Kawhi Leonard pushed Paul George to find a way for the Clippers to get him, Paul George approached the team and requested a trade. OKC was left with no choice and made the best out of a difficult situation. Now, there's a few things that I read out of this. What does it say about Russell Westbrook as a teammate? Kevin Durant left him, Paul George has now left him. And if you're the Lakers, I would not be surprised if you try and target Russell Westbrook this season alone. I believe, number one, Russell Westbrook is from LA. He played at UCLA. Number two, low-key, LeBron James and Russell Westbrook have been spending a lot of time together this season. And number three, Kyle Kuzma is a young asset that the Lakers would definitely be willing to trade away if they could get somebody like Russell Westbrook on that team. Plus, Russell Westbrook on the Oklahoma City Thunder with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and a few other pieces. I mean, they're going to be good, but are they really going to be that good in a Western Conference? I don't believe so. I believe if you're the Thunder, now that you've traded Paul George, you may look to trade Russell Westbrook as well. And if the Lakers can swoop in, maybe the Los Angeles Lakers aren't in the most difficult of situations. And obviously, I don't know about the fit of Russell Westbrook and LeBron James and Anthony Davis, considering that Westbrook is a very ball-dominant guard. But honestly, I would not push it past the Los Angeles Lakers to go after him. And I wouldn't push it past LeBron James to actually make that deal happen and make the fit work. But anyway, that's just a thought that I had. Let's talk about Kawhi Leonard and Paul George now as teammates. First of all, I made a video a couple of years ago now talking about why the Los Angeles Clippers were in the best position, and this is why. Jerry West. And that is because I believe that Jerry West is arguably the greatest GM in all of sports, let alone the NBA. He became the general manager of the Lakers in 1982 and left LA in 2002 with 6 NBA championships as a GM. Jerry West transformed the Lakers post the Magic Johnson era as they weren't really contenders in the West. He drafts Nick Van Exel in the second round. He drafts Eddie Jones. He pulled out one of the biggest trades in all of sports, trading Vlade Divac for a young Kobe Bryant in 1996. He then snagged Shaquille O'Neal, the most dominant big man of all time, to the Lakers and paired him up with Eddie, Kobe, Nick Van Exel, and they gelled, and we all know how that turned out. Then he leaves for the Memphis Grizzlies, as he wanted to challenge himself. He then turned them into a playoff contender, and as we all know, the Memphis Grizzlies were one of the best teams in the West. Although they didn't win, they had Marc Gasol. They always had guys like Mike Conley, Tony Allen, Zebo. All these guys made that Grizzlies team one of the hardest teams to face in the playoffs. Just ask the Spurs, just ask the Warriors. These guys were hard to beat, and that was thanks to Jerry West. Then he comes back. He works for the Golden State Warriors. Jerry West drafts Klay Thompson with the 11th pick in 2011. Then Draymond Green the following year in the second round. He builds the core of Steph, Klay, and Draymond Green as they win the 73 wins, best record in the NBA. Then he joins the Clippers. Obviously, they had to lose CP3. They had to lose Blake Griffin. They had to lose DeAndre Jordan. But Jerry West knew that they weren't going to win a championship anyway. Now, they have Kawhi Leonard. They have Paul George. They got Lou Williams, who's a 6th man of the year. Harrell traded for him as well. Jerry West is arguably the greatest GM in all of sports, and the Clippers now are NBA championship contenders thanks to that man. The Lakers are in a little bit of trouble now as they missed out on a lot of the free agents they could have signed to get a better depth. But they obviously had to go for Kawhi Leonard. Now that they miss out on him, it's going to be interesting to see who they sign. As for the Raptors, obviously they're also in a little bit of trouble as they couldn't get a free agent with Kawhi Leonard leaving. But you never know what happens from here. It's just really unfortunate for the Raptors, but at the same time, they kind of probably knew that Kawhi Leonard wasn't going to stay around for that long anyway. As for the Clippers, the wait is over. A lot of rumors, a lot of speculation, that is over. We know who Kawhi Leonard is signing with, and we know that the Clippers and Paul George are going to be happy. At one stage in his career, Paul George looked like he was never going to come back. Never going to be the same. Now, he's going to be joining forces with Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George, after his breakout season last year in Oklahoma with Russell Westbrook, he now looks ready to actually do well, to actually be like the Indiana Pacers Paul George in the playoffs, but this time more experience and a better player. He's great offensively, even better defensively, and now there is no doubt he's going to the playoffs with a chance to win an NBA championship. Next season could be a new and improved Paul George and an MVP version. This season, he had the chance to be an MVP, but next season, watch out even more. Him alongside Kawhi Leonard is scary. And don't forget about the rest of the team. Lou Williams, a 6th man. Harrell, one of the most improved players of last season. They got Zubac, a young and decent center. They have Landry Shamet, one of the best three-point shooters in the league. And they also signed Rodney McGruder in this year's free agency, who may not get many minutes, but a great 3-and-D guy to have on this team. And they also managed to sneak in Mo Harkless in this year's free agency as well, with the trade in Miami getting Jimmy Butler. So Mo Harkless, a great defensive player as well. 3 wings with great defense. It's going to be an interesting fit, but all you need is Paul George and Kawhi and you're good. And that is not even the end of it. Don't be surprised if the Clippers can also sign a big man, and maybe that's DeMarcus Cousins. Low key, if no other team goes for him, PG, Kawhi Leonard, and Boogie? Jesus, that's scary. With that being said, let me know what you think about the signing. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I wanted to get this video out as quickly as I could when I heard the news. And it's been your boy Nick Smith. I am out. Leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. I'm out. Peace.